we doing today?
Good. How you doing?
Hello.
Hello. So to start, one of the things about this movie that I was like, yeah, we don't trust that is when you hear music in the woods. I was like, Deliverance told us don't go follow the music in the woods. So how was it getting to give another movie to audiences where we're like, yeah, if you hear music, just don't go find out where the music's coming from.
I would like to propose following the music as a courageous. I would like to suggest more courage, and less self-belief. Just fucking go. Head towards the
Yeah,
tears.
yeah. In this movie, we believe in fucking around and finding out.
That is very true. That is true. What about you? What is it like now being part of the canon of if you follow music, things are gonna happen in the woods?
I mean, I am the music, so like. So.
Yes,
Like,
correct.
find
Yeah,
me.
come find out.
Yes, call. I'm a siren. I'm
I
sending out my
am.
call. Yeah,
The
I'm.
pot of gold.
Siren call.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask too, because there are scenes where it is basically silent. It's just two people, and it's a very, very quiet moment. How was it like for all of you guys to let those scenes sit and still build the tension within them when you don't really have any dialogue kind of pushing the scene along?
Oh man, great. I mean, I think that's life, though, right? There's no great John Carpenter score playing when you're like navigating tough shit, right? But I also, any film is about peaks and valleys, right? Like, is you I don't know. To earn the high, you have to have the quiet, right? And I think that really filmmaking is trying to figure out that how the flow of that. And yeah, I don't know. I mean, there are big violent moments in the film that are loud. There's big violent moments that are quiet. It's just I don't know. It's just like a toolbox of things that you just kind of make a choice and hope it works. And I hope these work. So yeah,
Also, what's scarier than
silence.
silence,
Silence.
right?
Yeah, yeah.
It's like when your mom's mad at you because she's quiet.
Yes.
Like if she's yelling, it's like okay, but if she's like fobby,
Right.
I'm
You don't.
like, oh god.
And
That's it.
yeah, yeah. How was the silence? Do you enjoy silence?
Actually, I do. I'm an introvert, actually, so I prefer the silence. It was my world. I loved it.
It would be horrible if I met Dolly because I'm the person who I hate silence. I'll just fill it. It would just be yapping the entire time. I
Dolly would
wouldn't.
like drop you back off.
Yeah, yeah. My mom always said that I would never get kidnapped because they would just drop me back off on the
They'd be
street
like, she
corner.
won't shut the fuck up.
Yeah, she's like, she won't be quiet here. Just drop her off.
I'm stealing this. I'm gonna steal
I'm
this bit and use it.
I'm
Yeah,
like you.
that's okay.
Yeah, my
Yeah,
dad used to say that I swallowed 5 radios and they were all going off at once.
And the greatness is my mom's like, that's my quiet child, and I just would yap and shit. I was like, oh, at least
What a
I
good
don't.
defense mechanism, though. Like, I'm
Yeah.
just gonna talk endlessly. They'll be sick of me real quick.
I
Very
talked to
good.
the robot in the Waymo. But I also love, you guys are premiering this at Fantastic Fest, which is a genre or a genre festival with a lot of horror fans. How exciting is it to, see this with an audience, and especially an audience like Fantastic Fest, where people are here because they love genre films.
When we wrote the like pitch for the movie, it literally said we hoped to premiere the movie at Fantastic Fest in Sitges in Spain, and we're premiering there next. And we couldn't be more thrilled. Also, three of my favorite genre films of the past like 6 years have all had their starts here. Um, Overlord,
Mm-hmm.
Strange Darling,
Mm-hmm.
um,
I love Stranger
and I'm drawing a blank on the third, but I think about it all the time. I'm just tired because it's Sunday morning. But like, it's like, oh, Smile.
Mm.
Mm.
So it's just like I don't know, like it feels cool.
Also, genre fans are just my favorite group of people. Like they are the most non-judgmental, like down for the count, down for the team. Like they are so much fun to be around, and I think it's I don't know. Sometimes at festivals, I feel like everyone's kind of trying to one up each other, or like who's the biggest, who's the coolest, most avant-garde, blah blah blah. But with genre fans, it's always like people that just want to have fun and be supportive.
Yeah, we're flying our freak flags.
Yeah, it's a bunch of freaks.
Me
It's the
too.
best.
Yeah, like we're the misfits, right? Look at us. Yeah.
How's
Well,
it
I
working?
speak for myself.
You're the freak. Um,
I know.
this is a whole new world for me, so I don't know a whole lot about film festivals or anything. I do know a lot about horror because I have loved horror since I was literally in diapers. So it's so surreal for me to be on the opposite end where people are viewing me as a monster in a horror film. So I think I'm nervous and very excited and can't wait to see.
Have you seen the movie yet?
No, I haven't
I
even
haven't
seen
seen it
it.
yet
So
either.
I have no idea.
Oh my god. Well, and
Nope, they're
I want to ask you guys because horror is such a like unique experience. Like you either love it or you don't, and it's kind of that's the spectrum of it. Like I watched The Exorcist when I was 6, and I thought if I slept on the floor, the demon wouldn't get me. And my mom was
It
like, "Get
will.
in the bed. It's gonna get you no matter where. Just sleep in the bed." But it made me love horror because I was like, well, I was terrified of it. It terrified me for a week, but I wanted to keep going.
Mhm.
What for you all was that one movie that kind of like was like, you know what, I kind of like this genre of film.
Okay, I don't, it's not exactly answering the question, but I will say that my first memory of a horror film was Chucky. And my mom and I got into this car accident. My mom was like in the hospital and having, her back healed. And I was staying with my aunt and my uncle. And my uncle decided it was like totally a fine movie to put on for like a 5-year-old. And I just remember
Always the uncles.
sitting on the couch,
Love
always
it.
the uncles, always the uncles. And they were out of the room, and I was sitting on this couch, and I was like, Chucky's always hiding underneath things. So I was too afraid to get off the couch because I was sure he was underneath the couch. So I sat and watched the whole thing. I had nightmares about Chucky till I was like 13. And not even just, I would have dreams where Chucky proposed to me. I would have dreams where Chucky and I were just hanging out. Like, Chucky stayed with me forever. And that's the power of a really terrifying movie.
Yeah, I
It
get
will get into your subconscious.
same with like the leprechaun.
Yeah.
the,
Yeah.
the leprechaun did that.
The demons, they will get you.
Oh
They
yeah.
are under the couch. They are under your bed.
Um, I don't know why I loved it so much, to be honest. My mom was like a teenage mother, so she would watch a lot of horror movies at home. And when I was supposed to be sleeping, I would be in the hallway, like peeking, watching. And my first memory is Nightmare on Elm Street. And like I said, I have no idea why I loved it so much, but I just did. And I was obsessed with Freddy since I was probably like 5 years old. I wasn't afraid of it. I just thought it was so cool. And I'm an artist, and I would draw him, and I would collect the things. And I was the weird kid in school who liked horror movies. That and Pumpkinhead. I don't know.
I
I
don't.
thought that was just a really cool monster. I thought he was so
Yes,
sick.
So sick.
it's true.
So sick. I'll also say that there's something about, like, I grew up in a lot of different countries, and you would turn on the television and I wouldn't understand. It would be like in Arabic or in German or wherever I was living. But with horror, you don't need to understand always like what they're saying. You there's just more that's being communicated, and it's like it transcends like it's there's a mythology in almost all horror that transcends like language. You understand what's happening, which is so cool.
Yeah. What about you? You didn't answer.
Well, okay, so I grew up, yeah, I grew up without a TV, and horror movies. So I would go. There was a video rental store in town that was also the appliance repair shop and the jewelry store, and the man who ran it was my school bus driver, and his name was Pete Parker. It was fucking
Pete
insane.
Parker.
Yeah, he was. My head was, but I yes, he was.
Spider Man.
Dude, fucking Pete Parker was my bus driver, dude. Not that Pete Parker, yo. But like, okay, so but the video rental store, and what I mean was just the hallway of like VHS tapes and plastic sleeves, and like, and horror movies were, they were anti-establishment writ large to me. Like I remember being like, this is the way that I can rebel, right? Or like just do things that no one wants me to be, or watch things that no one wants me to be watching, or like, and whether it was like the cover of Hellraiser, or they had the many faces of death there, right? They had and I was just like, I was like, this is insane shit. Like, how is this possible? And I just want to have this in my life because I'm not supposed to, or because I was told like I'm not supposed to. So, I mean, it like Fabi, like I watched Halloween at a sleepover, and for years, I actually to this day I watch Mike Myers. I'm a scared cat. I watch him through my fingers. Like I'm serious. Like you can tell everybody. You can tell Blum. You can tell Jason Blum that I'm afraid of Mike Myers. It's okay. I'm cool. I have no problem being me.
Well, I love that because it's like I'm the weird kid. My favorite movie since I was 12 was American Psycho. So it's like with like horror movies, I love how they can like be a bunch of different things and it's not one specific thing. Which with Dolly, I really love that it is we are in multiple locations, but for a good majority of the movie, we're in a house and as a captive story. How fun is it to get to just live in that house for a good portion of this movie and exist within there and not have, the external elements of a bunch of different set pieces working with you guys.
Well, the house was disgusting. It was like
Well,
it
it was
was
also
like
a set.
it
It
was a
wasn't a, it
set.
wasn't a
It's
house.
not a real house. We built a house in an old factory. It's like not real, right? But the most of the dressing from the house came from an abandoned property our production designer found. Like literally they pulled things. It was like, did you go to the abandoned house ever?
No, 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 but they
Okay.
found an abandoned house where every like somebody just up and left, like
We
in the
still
80s,
You should
and
just go and film there.
and
Go in there.
the stuff felt
the
haunted.
porno tapes or like the
Oh my
VHS
gosh,
tapes.
there was like all
We
of these
uh,
VHS tapes from in it was like security footage from inside of
from
a
a
porn
porno
store.
store.
Oh my
Well,
god.
they're in
I
the
didn't
living room.
know this. What the
Yeah,
hell?
we watched them on the
We
last
were
day.
we
What the
upload
hell? Where
all
was
of them
I?
because it feels like one
Yes.
of those things where if you actually watch all like million hours, there will be like a glitch suddenly, and you're gonna see the most terrifying thing you've ever seen. Like it just feels like there's like
I
some.
have half of the collection at my house, and
Oh
I just haven't had the time to do this, but I'm going to do
Where
this.
was I for this? What the
You
hell?
It
were
was in the
probably
living room. It was sitting on top of the television in the living
You
room.
guys watched it without
No.
no,
me?
because the key grip brought a VCR in the last day. We debated whether or not we should, because what if we found something we shouldn't know, and then we would be like, I don't know, it was dangerous.
Censored too.
Yeah, I don't know, something. Um,
Something new
the
that you
house
said.
was so here's the thing. The house was is constructed right. It fucking felt real. It was disgusting to be in, but it was also not. It was not real, right? But it was disgusting. It was swampy. It was every surface was like gr- nasty.
I mean, it was. I remember taking a cup home that said "mom," and I was like, "I'm gonna take this souvenir home." And then I drank out of it like 2 times, and I was like, "This cup is haunted. I need to get rid of it. Like, this can't actually be at my house."
It's true.
I actually have one of the nice lamps in my living room. I adore it. So I don't know what
Well,
you guys are talking
I'm.
about.
That's fucking weird. No, I do. I actually I have a Kyra found our production designer is fucking awesome. I have this like plate that's like a mother's poem to a child about how much they love them. I have it in my office. It is very weird. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, thank you guys so much for talking to me. I can't wait for you guys to get to see the movie with the audience. And yeah, thank you guys so much.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
Thank you. Hi, how are you?
Bien, ¿y vos?
I'm good. I'm good. To start, I wanted to ask, a lot of this movie takes place in one house and specifically one room. What was it like containing that sequence in like one separate room and just kind of focusing on the the energy between those two actors?
Entonces, bien, gracias. Bueno, quisiera empezar diciendo, toda la película transcurre en una sola habitación, en un solo lugar. ¿Cómo fue ese desafío de mantener toda esa energía en un solo lugar?
Eh, en realidad esa idea nace, o sea, nace, yo quería hacer una película pequeña, una película contenida desde la producción, una película posible. Es muy difícil filmar en cualquier lugar, pero en mi país en particular en este momento es muy difícil. No sé si querés decir todo, ¿no?
Yes, actually, this idea was born because I really wanted to produce a small film. It's something that would be possible because right now it's very, very hard to make movies, especially in my country right now, it's very, very tough.
Entonces eso ya desde el nacimiento de la idea me llevó a pensar en pocos personajes, en todo en una sola locación y hacer que las tensiones entre esos personajes se expresen en esa sola locación.
So that's why, since the very beginning, the idea was to have like something small, like just a few characters, and that was the challenge to keep that tension with that few characters
En unas mismas locaciones.
in just one location.
Eh, y bueno, y a partir de ahí, indagando en la intimidad de los personajes, empezó a salir lo siniestro que está detrás de esa intimidad.
So yeah, we were trying to explore about the intimacy of those characters and explore all the intricacies of their relationship.
When you have something in this movie that terrified me the entire time because the minute I saw that a dog died, I was like, oh no, that's gonna come back at some point. And I love the use of like a collar that you can call and figure out where an animal is. What was the most fun about getting to use something like that to continue really like bait the audience into seeing when we were gonna like see that reveal and what happens when she learns about the dog.
Algo que me tuvo súper aterrorizado durante toda la película fue porque justo al comienzo empieza con que el perro muere y tú sabes que eso va a regresar en algún momento y fue muy interesante cómo manejaste lo del collar porque ese llamado constante sabes que en algún momento va a estar ahí. Entonces fue divertido como construir ese sentimiento en la audiencia de que eso en algún momento va a retornar.
Sí, sí, o sea, lo del perro, creo que en primera instancia fue una idea de una idea de Bayona. Eh, ¿Vieron el concepto? Hay un concepto de guión que se llama Save the Cat, que es, bueno, que es definir a un personaje por una acción. O sea, no hace falta definirlo psicológicamente, qué hacía antes de venir acá y qué va a hacer después. Con una sola escena basta para definir a un personaje. Acá en esta...
Um, yes, actually, that was an but oh, sorry. Actually, that was a Jonas idea, and there is a concept on screenplaying that it's called Save the Cat, and it's like you can define a character by action. You don't necessarily have to describe it like psychologically, like tell its story, like what happened before, what happened after. No, it's just one scene. You can describe a character in that way.
En este caso, en vez de Save the Cat, es Kill the Dog.
Mm-hmm.
Pero, pero a mí me parecía muy importante que no sea solamente eso, que el perro, si bien cuando muere el perro al principio tiene como un tono casi de humor, es esa premisa que vos decís, esa amenaza de que ella lo va a descubrir. Yo quería que cuando ella lo descubriera, nosotros realmente empatizáramos con el dolor que siente ella por la muerte del perro.
Yes, actually, so in this case, of course, it wasn't save the cat but kill the dog, and but it was just because yes, I wanted to try with a little bit of humor, or that scene was introduced with a little bit of humor, but I wanted to for that premise to be there for like have that kind of thread until the audience could feel the real empathy once she realizes that the dog is dead, for the audience to feel that empathy of that loss.
Y eso, bueno, la muerte y después cuando ella va y entierra al perro, de algún modo ella está reviviendo las otras muertes, las muertes de la familia, esa que ellos asesinaron. Entonces yo quería que realmente ese perro significase y doliese la muerte de ese perro.
Um, so yeah, when she realized that the dog is dead and when she goes and bury him, she is living again all those other deaths before, like that family that they murdered together. So yeah, that dog, it means all her past and all the other murders.
Well, and I also I love that we get a snippet of that she's not okay within the first couple of minutes of the movie because we get that phone call and she's repeating herself. She's asking the same thing and she keeps calling back. When you establish a character like that right out the gate and then we get to meet her and get to see kind of where she is in this house. What for you was the biggest challenge of making sure like working with an actor and making sure that that character still had the chance to grow as she does in this movie?
Um, Bueno, me encantó que casi las primeras escenas nos diste como una pequeña visión de que esta mujer claramente no está en sus cabales, ella seguía repitiendo las mismas cosas por teléfono, seguía llamando y llamando constantemente, así que cuando estableces un personaje de ese tipo, después cuando la presentas en la casa, ¿cómo fue este desafío o cuál fue el desafío que se presenta para darle posibilidad de crecimiento a un personaje como estos cuando ya ha sido introducido así desde la primera escena?
Eh, Está muy bien lo que preguntás, o sea, hay una idea estructural de ir contando el personaje en distintas partes. Por ejemplo, al principio no vemos su rostro, es solo una voz en el teléfono incluso en la casa tratamos de que el rostro de ella sea como lo último para ver, sea como, para hacer una metáfora muy básica, como la cara de la bruja cuando vas a la casa de la bruja. Y lo mismo con las distintas informaciones que van construyendo el personaje. César, el pasado, el juego, son como cosas que van subiendo niveles dentro de la locura vengativa y asesina de Alicia. Maté ahí, ¿eh?
So yeah, it is a structural idea to be developing the character little by little. So at the beginning, we can just hear her voice, but we cannot see her face. And then even when we are already at the house, we can see kind of the shadow of her face, not her face directly. So it's kind of a metaphor of that, like the face of the witch. Um, so it's a way to start like telling about the character, and same with other characters like Cesar or the past. It just little by little, I'll be like, let's say, revealing, yeah, revealing this craziness of this lady little by little.
Está muy bien, ¿eh? Muy bien.
I also like to you get to use humor a little bit in this movie because I love when we have Pedro in the chair and he's like, "No, I'm not a homosexual." She's like, "Okay, but if you were, I would have let you go." And he's like, "Okay, I'm a homosexual." And then she's like, "Queer's better." "Okay, I'm queer." And he's just like, "Whatever," to get out. But it's funny because you can hear that desperation, but he's also like so quick with it to come back. How much fun is it for you as a director to get to use humor in those scenes to lighten them up while we're all kind of tense based on what's going on?
Yo no, yo siempre me sale naturalmente, imagino las escenas con una línea de humor, con una beta de humor. Naturalmente me sale así. Y después cuando construimos las escenas y los personajes con los actores, que ensayamos muchísimo, muchísimo tiempo, muchísimas semanas de ensayo, también en las escenas íbamos gestando esas líneas de humor. ¿Querés hasta ahí?
Yes, it comes natural to me. Whenever I'm imagining the scenes, I always have that line of humor underneath. It's kind of natural. And but yes, every time we are building the scene and building the character and rehearsing, because we had tons of rehearsal, like every single week we were rehearsing a lot. So during those rehearsals, they were also like burning, or we were giving birth to those some of those lines.
Yo les propuse a los actores, les propuse que es una película muy dura de actuar, es una película que requiere mucha entrega de ellos y pasar por momentos muy difíciles. Yo les propuse a ellos, casi como un juego, que para llegar y armar esa tensión teníamos que también divertirnos y tener humor.
Um, so I proposed to the cast, because I know it's a very tough movie and it's tough to act in that movie, right? And it requires a lot of them. They were giving a lot because they are very tough, difficult moments. So I proposed to them like, make this as a game, because if we need to build that tension, we also have to have fun in the meantime.
And I always wanted to ask about the shadows because, like, when we get into the house, it's very dark, and you get to play with shadows a little bit because it is, there it's lit by like a fireplace at one point, and you don't have like a ton of light in that house. When is it? When was it always your goal to then contrast it with the later scene where we get to see the house at full brightness, and you see her walking around and showing the house, and it is a very drastically different looking house than when we're in those scenes.
Eh, ¿Me querés traducir o
Sí.
lo explico?
Eh,
Yo me entiendo un poco.
Dice que, bueno, y también quiero hablar un poco como de todo el contraste con las sombras que hay, y se ve que hay un juego de sombras muy explícito, porque creo que en algún momento solamente estaba iluminado por la chimenea que estaba ahí. Bueno, la casa claramente no tenía mucha iluminación, sin embargo, llega un momento cuando vienen a ver la casa que hay un contraste muy grande, que hay bastante luz, se vuelve así como si fuera casi, el cambio es tan drástico que fuera casi una casa diferente.
nosotros, bueno, partimos de la base de los lugares comunes del género. La noche o